Welcome back to Ritual Hobby and Art. After several months of painting what I saw on the trail, I'm starting a new painting series that encompasses a much broader range of landscapes. I'm spending more time enjoying the landscapes found within eastern Tennessee, which is part of a much larger region known as Appalachia, or Appalachia. This geographical region extends as far north as New York's Catskill Mountains, and as far south as in the northern portions of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Traditional Appalachia is considered all of West Virginia, southwestern Virginia, eastern Kentucky, western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, and the northern parts of Georgia and South Carolina. It includes several regions and mountains that I've already visited and painted, including the Appalachian Plateau, the Ridge and Valley Appalachians, Allegheny Mountains, Piedmont, the Great Appalachian Valley, and the Blue Ridge Mountains, which includes the Great Smoky Mountains and some of that Blue Ridge Parkway. As I approach these landscapes, I'm placing them in different categories: mountains, settlements, and lakes, and some others as well as I get to them. The last category for me will relate to areas changed by the construction of dams by the Tennessee Valley Authority. There are several located around eastern Tennessee that I have visited and will include in my paintings. I've started painting a group based on the settlement at Cades Cove in the Great Smoky Mountains, and I hope to get a video out on that this fall. As a matter of fact, I've been working on this subject for several years. Here are some paintings that I did. It includes a couple metal sculptures of a bluegrass group in Waynesville, North Carolina, the Tuskegee River in Dillsboro, North Carolina, the Opera Box, if you've been to Chimney Rock in Lake Lure, North Carolina, and the Looking Glass Falls, which I've actually never been to, but I did this painting as a gift for someone else based on a picture I found on the internet. There are plenty of them, and that is also located in North Carolina. And I've done many others, including a couple of Pilot Mountain that you saw previously. But let's go ahead and look at a couple paintings that I did recently here in the area and sort of the stages that I took to get to completion. This first image, the first painting I did this is a scene in the sort of Powell area of Knox County. It's looking towards a farm with Beaver Creek Ridge behind it, Beaver Ridge. And I like the way that this is right after a large snowstorm that really hit our area hard in January of 2024. Most of the snow had melted, but on this particular day, there was a lot of mist and a lot of fog, and the way that mixed with the trees, and I just liked this scene. And so I wanted to attempt painting it. I did it in my multimedia pad using gouache paint. And so starting out with just sketching out where the buildings are going to be. Primarily, we're talking about the barn on the left and the house on the right, and then there's some service buildings in between, and of course marking out where the ridge is going to go. Then I started to add color. I put in the sky and a dark color for the ridge itself. And then I put down tape to sort of protect the area above the buildings and below the ridge as I started to do more to this painting. Adding a lot of white gouache in to be that fog, to be that mist that's moving up. And then removing the tape to start working on the next section. Adding in color. Now, it makes it look like this is a ridge, but it's actually trees. But the trees are so dark in the picture that it almost looks like a second ridge. And then making that blue a little greener, adding color to the buildings themselves, and then adding more white gouache in around the trees to get those to blend in as well. And then getting it out to the final part where trees have been added, more color and texture have been added to the buildings. My final picture is a lot brighter than the original. And I think that was something I did subconsciously because that original picture is so dark that I wanted to brighten it up. So This is sort of that first picture of Appalachia in this new series. This next picture is of an abandoned farmhouse in Elk City, Virginia. The original picture was taken by a lady I follow on Instagram, who is a photographer and enjoys photographing older buildings, barns, that sort of thing. She's Got an Old Soul is her screen name, and if you're interested in that sort of thing, please check her out. She had posted a picture of a building, and I asked her if I could paint it, so she gave me a couple images to work from. And so the first thing I did is I sketched it out as best I could, and then started adding the trees. As you can see, I added the green and different blends of green, and scraping the paper a little bit with a palette knife to kind of show some of the branches. And a lot of work went into that, and here's the final of that. Just an old building. You could tell it was a very beautiful house once upon a time, but now the trees and vegetation have really taken it over, especially in the foreground with the grass that has grown up. But it appeared to me that the building had retained most of its windows. And so I don't know where in Elk City this is, but it's definitely Appalachia, so it fits. This last group may not actually be in Appalachia. This is Alamance County, North Carolina, specifically the Alamance Battleground State Historic Site. And the reason I did this, I went there several years ago on vacation. We went to several things in the area. This is when I still lived in North Carolina. And I did this painting. I did a painting based on some of the material here because I wanted to get some practice in doing log cabins or wood-based structures. Now, you may remember I did the Teleco blockhouse back when I did the masking fluid video. But that is from a further distance, and so it's not up close as, say, this salt house is with the structure next to it. And so here's a painting that I did on that, done in acrylic, where I really wanted to show some of the contrast and shadow and texture of the salt house, as well as some of the shadowing and features around sort of the depth, really, of that structure next to it. I believe the box that is under it is actually a firebox. Looking forward to doing more paintings in the Appalachia region, though most of it may be in eastern Tennessee. I've been many places. I went to college in Appalachia, up in Maryland, not Appalachian State College or State University. I went to Frostburg State, but that's still in the Appalachia region. And so I've had a lot of my life in the Appalachia area. I have plenty of photos, and I think it'll be a fun challenge. So stay tuned for the Cades Cove video, hopefully coming this fall, and more to come after that. Thanks for watching.